Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome to Provoke Thoughts. It's your boy, Mr. Provoke Thoughts. If it is your first time on this channel, please hit the like, share, and the subscribe button, y'all. I'm actually on my way to work, and I wanted to actually finish the conversation that I tried to start, but due to network outages, man, I had to wait until I got in the car with you guys this morning to get it off. I was sitting up talking about how mental health is real, how this young lady, Afeni Muhammad, is one case of a bigger issue that, plagues the black community at large. Unaddressed mental health situations, a victim mentality that can cause for you to hurt somebody, man. And Miss Afeni Muhammad, killed that lady, her manager, based off of the fact that she said that she was bullied. Now, this is a familiar tale because we got to think about Mr. Carmelo Anthony and the fact that he killed a man in the same fashion, just because he felt like that he was being bullied. Now, are we at a place now in our thinking and our mentality that if somebody irritates you, bullies you, or, kind of push you around a little bit, that you can't fix the situation without committing murder? Are we in a situation now where, people are just so unhinged that this is their only way out? With this young lady, we got an opportunity, if you haven't seen her Instagram, to see a young lady that was pretty much cracking at the seams, man. I mean, the young lady was trying her best to, present herself, however, the way that she felt that she wanted to be represented. She was a aspiring rapper, but, in my opinion, she was not going to get anywhere. She had this thing, where she was, down on her luck a bit, and she was staying with somebody, and she felt like that this person was literally trying to have sex with her, and there was no evidence except for the fact that she was throwing fits and acting a fool. Now, I do assume that the guy must have probably liked her in some type of way to even let her stay there. He would buy her food or whatever, she admitted to her audience. And I guess she may have taken that, or taken the fact that he was actually attracted to her, to the fact that he just wanted to have sex with her, man. And, it's kind of scary, because that is where that's the lane in which your victims come from in certain situations. Now, did this man try to have sex with her, or give her looks, as she said, to let her know that that's what he wanted to do? Possibly. But, she was really, really unhinged, to the point, if you go to Risen Phoenix, which is her page, you will see her throw an absolute conniption fit, which goes to show you the length of crazy and unhinged that she can get into, man. I mean, it was actually kind of disturbing when you looked at it, when you thought about it. After you looked at it, it was just crazy. I was watching earlier this morning a young lady that she worked at a Taco Bell with that claimed that she actually stabbed her. She hid up under one of her other employees' cars with regard to, and shackled his feet, pushed him in the car, threatened him with a knife. So this has been her MO the whole time. And my thing is, how is it that we can watch things like that happen, especially in our community, especially our people, allow it to go unaddressed, and then when something happens, we want to act surprised? This woman apparently feels like that she's a great employee, but however, she's on shift, creating TikTok videos and Instagram videos, and you can't be doing that and working at the same time. It's absolutely impossible. So I'm almost assuming that, this is one of those cases where, her manager saw that she wasn't quite doing what she was supposed to do because she was busy posting, sent her home, probably got, had some issues with her, sent her home the next day. And of course, this is what happens. Of course, she makes, this rant about, somebody needs to do something about this bully and, all of this stuff. And then she ended up killing, Jama, and God rest her soul. She didn't deserve to die. Another, caveat in a situation with that is, management styles and how people lead, can really cause, some issues in the workplace environment with a normal person. So just imagine if you're dealing with a completely unhinged and mentally disturbed person, what can happen. We don't even have to imagine. We see what happened. As a worker, as somebody who's been, working for, more than half of my life at this point, I know that there are people that are disturbed in the workplace. I've had experiences where, situations have happened with people who worked on jobs together in relationships, let alone manager-employee situations, that did not end good. I've had, there are situations where people definitely come back to a job and shoot up the place because they're disgruntled. This is kind of new for me to see a female actually just go bananas and stab up, their boss, but at the end of the day, I feel like that we as African Americans, or just as people as a whole, but in my experience as a black person, we do not address mental health issues. We tend to talk about that person, make fun of that person, call that person crazy, act as if it's their fault that they are crazy, but there is some underlying issues that we know nothing about that this person is actually going through that's causing these issues. And, nobody sought help for this young lady, I don't believe. One of the main things that I've been thinking about is, man, where's her family? Where's her friends? Is there anybody that could come out and vouch for her and say that she was going through anything that she claimed that she was going through? Was she absolutely delusional? Was she possibly on drugs? It's a lot of different things that you can think about when it comes to how this all went down and how it probably could have been avoided, to a degree, whether it be management style, whether it be, some type of therapy, whether it be, her situation being better. Because from what I gather, she was kind of going through, the hand-to-mouth situation where she's living with a person, trying to get her life together, apparently believing that this person only wants to have sex with her. It's possible that they may have had sex before, which is the reason why she was so adamant about, oh, I don't want to have sex with you. But you have to be careful, when you put yourself in situations, how they work out. Do I believe that somebody should have lost their life over a McDonald's job? No. You should believe that your life can be better than a McDonald's job. I believe that McDonald's jobs, as I'm passing a McDonald's right now, is a startup job, for people who need to start. It's not the end all be all, but of course, when you're in a situation like that, it can be the end all be all. It can be everything to you. And it must have been everything to her because of the outcome of the situation. Now we have a woman who's lost their life, that has 6 kids, that's going to have to grow up without a mother. We got a young lady who may have had potential to be anything besides a McDonald's worker that is now going to more than likely spend the rest of her life in jail. She cannot, I don't think that she has the ability to plead temporary insanity or anything like that, because from what I'm gathering, she was already cooked. She was already insane and and irrational in her thinking and her thought process, extremely narcissistic, thinking that it was all about her. So at the end of the day, justice should be served, and hopefully will be served, and this woman will get accountability for the mistake that she made at 26 years old. Very, very sad situation. Very, very sad for the family of Jennifer Jama, and may she rest in peace. May her family find peace in this situation, and while incarcerated, I hope that this young lady gets some type of peace, and actually pay for the things that she has done. And on that note, I'm almost at my job, so I will talk to you guys later. Make sure that you subscribe. Make sure you hit that like button. Make sure you hit the notification bell. Please hit the like button, y'all, because that is how, videos get out. Please subscribe, because we do have to make channels grow around here. Channel is not perfect, but it can get close to it with you all's help. I do love y'all so much. Thank you for tuning in to Provoke Thoughts Live. Peace out, y'all.